Hello, everyone. My name is Harini Krishnan, and I go to Folsom High School. Welcome to Know Your Charity, a talk show series that I'm honored to be hosting in 2021. The intent of this series is to bring on various representatives and leaders of different nonprofit, charitable, and volunteer organizations in the Greater Sacramento Area. I'm hoping through this series that we get to hear about the great humanitarian work that these people and their organizations do in the community. This will serve as an inspiration for students and their families to help out in the community. Today, I have with me Robin Smith, who is from Meals on Wheels. Robin Smith is the volunteer specialist for Meals on Wheels by ACC. She has been with Meals on Wheels for about 1.5 years. She has 10 years of experience working with nonprofits, predominantly with adults with developmental disabilities and underserved populations. In her free time, she enjoys hiking and cooking. Thank you, Robin, so much for coming and talking to us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Okay, let's get started. So, what is Meals on Wheels? Can you talk a little bit about that?
So Meals on Wheels by ACC serves seniors 60 and above, or what we call 60 and better, in Sacramento County. So that would be City of Sacramento, Rancho Cordova, Mission Oaks, Elk Grove, Galt, anywhere in the county we serve. We also have other supportive programs. We have our Anna Meals program. We found that by delivering food to our seniors, we found that a lot of them would choose to go without if they had a pet and they didn't have pet food. So we take pet food donations now too. So we're serving the furry members of the family. We also have other supportive services. We have a telefriend program for people who are isolated and lonely. It's the same volunteer that'll call them every week. They built up a friendship. We've partnered with other agencies like Eschaton. Eschaton actually helped us get a mobile vaccine clinic out to some of our seniors who weren't able to go and get the vaccine. We've partnered with just so many wonderful organizations. And besides, we're more than just a meal. Besides providing that meal for the seniors, we do our wellness checks and we put them in contact with other services that are available to them.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. Is there a particular reason why just seniors, or is just happened that way?
It's we just noticed that a lot of our seniors, unless they go into like care facilities, most of these people want to be able to age in their own home. And so the daily meal both helps them with nutrition, but it also helps them with a wellness check so families feel comfortable letting their parents age in place. They know that somebody's going to be there. We've had to adapt it a little during COVID, but traditionally somebody's going to be there Monday through Friday who can check to make sure that there's no new developments. Maybe they're to see if their parents are declining, if somebody's had a fall, if somebody has had an injury. It really helps the isolated seniors be able to age in place and just know that somebody's going to be there, somebody who cares, who can make sure that they're doing all right.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. And so, what part of the community do you cover? I think you mentioned a little bit before.
Yeah, we do all of Sacramento County. So that would be Delta, Cortland, Ileton, Elk Grove, Galt, Citrus Heights, you name it. If it's in the county, we have a route that goes out there.
Okay, awesome. And so, as an organization itself, do you have employees as well as volunteers, or how does that balance work out?
We do. We have a few admin staff who help us with applications, help any of the participants who call in, connect them with either their caseworker or whatever services they have available to them. For our participants who are on our home delivered meal program, everybody's also assigned a caseworker. So that caseworker gets to know them on more of a personal level, knows what their needs are, and again, connects them with services. We have our management team. We have, I'm in charge of the volunteers. So we do have some paid staff, but predominantly we are volunteer run. In non-COVID times, depending on the time of year, we'd be running anywhere from 250 to 500 volunteers. The 250 are usually our drivers. Right now, because of COVID, we have had to change our model a bit, but we are hoping to go back to that. But the volunteers do everything. We have volunteer drivers. We have people who work on our newsletters. The person who checks the maintenance on our vehicles is a volunteer. They go and they check all the vehicles once a month. So really anybody in the community who has a skill that they want to bring to us, we would love to take them.
Okay, yeah. And about the seniors itself or themselves, how is there like a criteria that they need to fit to be able to get meals from your organization?
So we do. They have to be 60 or better, of course. And then we don't depend on income. So income is not a factor when we would determine eligibility. It's really just somebody needs to be frail, homebound, and then have limited to no support outside of the home. And then, of course, the people who don't qualify for that, we typically, in non-COVID times, we have our 20 cafes that are situated all around Sacramento County. So those are for people who are more mobile and able to get out. So the people who don't qualify for the home delivered meals because either they're not frail, they're not homebound, or they do have a lot of that extra family or caregiver support. Those people can go to the cafes, receive a meal, and they're also able to socialize and congregate.
Okay, yeah. What can volunteers do? You mentioned a whole lot before, but as like students like who might be watching this, is there anything specific that they can do?
So volunteers can basically do anything. If it's their skill set, then we'd love to have them. A lot of our younger volunteers will do things like for our Anna Meals program, they'll do pet food, kind of like pet food drives, and they'll collect dog and cat food. We also have a lot of people who do handmade cards or placemats. We deliver those with the meals when we have those donations available. And those always bring a smile to the seniors. They love those ones. The more personal the card, the better. And just general awareness. I mean, things like this where more people can get access to learning about us, learning about the population that we serve.
Yeah, okay. And these volunteers don't need any training or anything. Do they just show up or is there like an application process?
They do need training. We used to have in-person orientations. Right now, that's all digital. For the most part, we're just taking on drivers at the moment. But again, that'll expand as we're able to reopen more. But they have to go through confidentiality training. I mean, we do have HIPAA restrictions because we have sensitive medical and personal information. So all of our volunteers have to go through the HIPAA training. We also have an elder abuse training and how to do APS reports. And then it's the general like photo release, emergency contacts, job description, that type of thing is on the digital orientation. And then it depends really on the job that they're doing afterwards. So our volunteer drivers, typically their first day on the job, they'll shadow an existing volunteer. I have some amazing ones who are great at training. I love my team. But they'll shadow one of the trainers on their very first day. And then their second day, the trainer will actually shadow them so they can demonstrate that they're able to do all of the tasks that they need to do. After that, it's up to the volunteer. If they feel comfortable starting to go out solo, they're welcome to do that. Otherwise, they can have as many training shifts as they want until they feel comfortable.
Okay. And you're saying these drivers, just for my information, do they drive their own cars or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. All of the drivers provide their own vehicles. We load them up in the morning. We're kind of doing a drive-through system right now. So they'll come to our distribution center. We'll have all the supplies ready, load them up, and then they take off from there. But yeah, everybody uses their own vehicle.
Okay, that's awesome. And so now that we're coming out of the pandemic, how has the pandemic kind of challenged you, your organization, and your services that you provide?
So it's been both very challenging, but we've also been really lucky during it. I mean, the first few months, just like everybody else, I mean, we had to completely change every way that we operated. It used to be that the volunteer drivers were able to go into people's homes. They would help put the food away. They would just do little nice things to help out the seniors. They would bring their mail in. Maybe some of them used to take out their trash or their recycling, just little things to help. We've had to stop that and start doing a contactless delivery. We were doing the 5 hot meals a day. We wanted to limit the contact that we were bringing the seniors since they are the more vulnerable population. So we did switch to a once a week frozen delivery. We are transitioning back to our hot meals, which is a wonderful thing because we get that daily wellness check again. So for the safety of our participants, that's really needed. So that was a struggle in the beginning. We have a great team here, so we all buckled down and we got through it, just like everybody. But the community, in the sense that we've been lucky, the community stepped up and they helped us so much. I have a volunteer interest list that's a little over, I think, 1,200 people
Oh my God.
who stepped up and they want to volunteer for us, and we don't have that many opportunities at the moment. But as we open up, I'm reaching out to more of them. And then just things that were hard in general for people to get a hold of were harder for our seniors. An example is toilet paper. We all remember the toilet paper shortage at the beginning of the pandemic. And that's even harder for the population we work with to get that, because a lot of them can't even go to a grocery store. So we have community members donate just boxes and boxes of toilet paper, hand sanitizer, masks, you name it. And the community really stepped up for us and they helped us out with that. So of course we were able to provide all that to our seniors.
Wow. Yeah. Hats off to our community. We have a great one here.
We do.
Sacramento. They are always willing to help. Yeah. And so if that's all I really had, if you want to provide any of your location or website that anyone can go look at for more information, you can.
Yeah, if they want to go to mowsac.org, they can go on our website, learn all about us. If you want to make a donation, you can do it through there. If you want to volunteer, if you just have questions, all of that information is on our website. And we are opening things back up. So we would definitely love anybody who wants to volunteer and help out. Whatever skill you have, we can use it. And we really appreciate it.
Okay, yeah. Just another quick question.
Yes.
How did you find out about Meals on Wheels and how did you start working there?
So I actually found out about it through my last job. I was working with adults with developmental disabilities, and one of my clients volunteered with a woman who received Meals on Wheels. We would go and we would visit her because she was bedbound. We would visit her twice a week to socialize. And I loved the way that volunteer driver interacted with her. And it was literally a bright spot in her week, well, in her day, because she got the daily meals. And this is somebody that, I mean, we were visiting twice a week because she was bedbound and she didn't have really much of a support system. And so you just got to in person see how much human contact really matters and how much it's more than a meal. It's not just that he was bringing the food, it's that it's somebody showing up who really cares. So that pointed me in this direction and I've loved it ever since.
Yeah, I just got chills. It's always so great to like hear about how what you do actually impacts people, you know?
Yeah.
Always the best thing.
And we're lucky. We get to see that every day. Every time there's a chance to make a delivery, I jump in on it. And I love the in-person because it's really just brightening up somebody's day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, thank you so much once again for coming and talking.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I really enjoyed listening to all you guys do. And I hope you all the viewers enjoyed. If you do have any comments or suggestions for me, you can email me at knowyourcharity5@gmail.com and I will gladly read them and let you know what I think. And thank you so much for listening once again, and I hope to see you all next time. Thank you.